On the cold shores of the north, hidden behind veils of mist, lived a people shrouded in mystery. Their names spread in whispers. Some called them savages, others the children of gods. But history remembers them by one word: Vikings. From the Baltic Sea to the shores of England, from the gates of Byzantium to the heart of Central Asia, they left behind more than just destruction. They burned, they conquered, but they also traded, built cities, and carried culture across continents. They were not just warriors with axes. They were symbols of survival, belief, exploration, and fearless resolve. In this documentary, we will tell a story more real than legend, a story carved not in myth, but in blood, stone, and sea spray. The true story of the Vikings, in the shadow of the North. Cold, silent, a world blanketed in snow. In the isolated hills of the Scandinavian peninsula, as harsh winters raged, a new kind of human emerged. Nature shaped them, hard as stone, cold as ice, but fiercely free in spirit. They were farmers, fishermen, masters of iron, but also warriors. The English called them Northmen, the Franks said Normans, but history wrote them with a single word: Vikings. Yet Viking wasn't a people, it was an action. Vik meant bay or inlet, and a Vikinger was one who raided those shores. So the Vikings didn't represent a nation. They embodied a mindset, and that mindset would soon echo across the heart of Europe as a rising storm of fear. The Viking Age, which began in the 800s, started with wooden ships setting sail into the open seas. Viking ships, light yet strong, could glide through shallow waters, sailing up rivers and reaching deep into city centers. They reached England, France, even the very heart of Byzantium. They burned London, besieged Paris. They came to the very gates of Constantinople. But not every raid was just about blood and plunder. They traded goods, they founded new settlements, and most importantly, they carried culture. The Vikings ruled not only with the sword, but also with law. Every community had its own thing, a public assembly. Everyone had a voice. Decisions were made together. Their pantheon of gods was vast and powerful. Odin, god of wisdom and war. Thor, protector of thunder. And Loki, the trickster, master of chaos and deception. These beliefs fueled their courage, because for a Viking, even death had meaning. It was the path to Valhalla. The Vikings didn't just conquer the north, they pushed east as well. In the lands of modern-day Russia, they founded dynasties known as the Rus. In Normandy, a Viking descendant named William would go on to conquer England, and history would be rewritten. They even traded with the Islamic world. The Arab traveler Ibn Fadlan described them as fierce, but also surprisingly clean. They were not barbarians. They were a disciplined society. The Vikings were a wave that reshaped the world. The Viking Age slowly faded by the end of the 11th century. Christianity spread through Scandinavia. Villages turned into kingdoms. Trade replaced raiding. But the Viking legacy didn't disappear. They helped shape the political map of modern Europe, and their cultural influence, from mythology to literature, still lives on. They came from the shadows of the north, but their mark spread across the world.